Okay, we're live.
Okay, I'm gonna check it again.
We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to join.
Shooting for Chrisfield. This part's just not even sorted.
Oh, there's 3 up there now. There they go.
Can you find it there?
Out of town visitors.
Okay, we're live. On the right page this time. Yay!
Okay, cool. I will hook this up with record video.
This is going to be fun, y'all.
Yeah.
At least for us.
It'll be
Already one
awesome.
person watching. That's on. And it's just recording.
Okay, so this camera is just so that we have backup in case the bandwidth doesn't support the live the whole time.
Okay.
And this one's running.
Mm-hmm. And if you feel, when we go in tighter, if you feel like moving in for the microphone, just feel free because you won't be in frame or anything. So let me know.
Oh, when to start? Well, it's 11:01. What do you all think?
Okay.
I'm ready. Do we even have any people looking?
Yeah. Couple people.
Hi.
Hello, Internet. Okay, let's try this.
All right.
We're coming in.
Okay.
Do we want to get this little piece of paper here?
Can we get the plaque?
The plaque. Okay.
So, hi, I'm Nicole Barkley. I'm here with my parents, Josephine and Elmer Barkley, and we're here to talk about the mural that they've put up on their garage door. And first, I wanted to ask them why they decided to put up this mural and why it's important to them. So,
Okay, I thought that was it's a great family. I met Elmer's father, and I know I found out all about the history of the Barkley family, and I have I met them, make the whole family brothers and sisters, and I thought that was a great memory to have on my garage door, because it is important for people to know that black people or African American people are just as important as any other person that lives here in Chrisfield or has been memorized here in Chrisfield. And the only way I thought I could do it, just to show it off, just to show people who the Barkley family is and what they have done to this community and for this community.
yeah. And so, Dad, can you go ahead and introduce the 2 wonderful gentlemen on the mural?
Okay. First, I'd like to point out that my uncle, Dr. Barkley, was not only a physician, he was a pharmacist. He practiced in the community. He also served both the black and white community at that time, even though he did not have privileges at a local hospital. He was a graduate of Princess Anne Academy, which is now the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Howard University in Washington, D.C. He started his practice in 1911.
No, 1912.
and practiced for 34 years. He also, to supplement his income, he and my father, Mr. Glenwood Barkley, joined together to do farming to supplement the income. At one time, this particular place, a homestead, was the site of the Barkley farm, which extends in the back of the house and further down. Also, they both rented land also to do that. My father was a trucker, and along with Elijah Sterling, helped Dr. Barkley run the farm. My father was a trucker, and they sent produce in the area to New York, Philadelphia, and places south for sale.
So how many siblings did they have?
My father and my uncle were 2 from 11.
Yeah, and Dr. Winter was the oldest?
The oldest, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So did they originally come from Chrisfield, or did they move here?
Well, they moved here because the original homestead was in Eden, Maryland, and that's where they came from. And most of the surviving siblings, two died at birth. I think 2 or 3 died at birth, and all of them went on to become teachers or other services.
Education, some kind of education.
Yeah. Also, I think Dr. Barkley was also a country doctor, which they used to do when he said that he would never turn down anybody, because they didn't have money. Like, he probably was paid with maybe a quart of oysters or crab meat or something, or chicken. But that's how it was in those days.
Yeah.
People were poor, and in this county, because this county, it was one of the really poor counties in the state of Maryland, and people needed that. Like farming, like my father, he did farming and trucking, and he did that until he was up into his 70s. In addition to that, he worked for I think Mr. Massey, who owned a chicken house over right across the street in back of this the Talls's house or mansion over there. So people at that time, they made a way, in spite of the facts of all the obstacles placed before, which I think is an inspiring story, and I think it needs to be told. As many people in the African American communities in Chrisfield have contributed, and they should be also known. Probably later you'll be seeing online other people telling the stories. For example, Mr. Kinsey Brown, the Brown family, were builders of churches. There was Mr. Harlan Cotman, who was a barber, and his son carried on. Vernon Cotman was a barber. There's Anthony Ward. There were so many people that was really, really were stalwarts in the community and provided support. And people really should know that.
How about Dr. Woods?
And also, Dr. Woods,
She was a professor of mathematics.
yeah, she was, I don't know, mathematics or physics. And,
Physics and
yeah,
mathematics.
and many people had to leave Crisfield in Somerset County to go out and make their way in the world. We had, in spite of the fact, we had dedicated teachers at Woodson High School, which was segregated at the time, but they really taught us the way to prosper. And it's so many, I couldn't name them all, that contributed to, inspired us to go on and go out in the world. And we were prepared. We were prepared. I think when the Crisfield High School was integrated, that the students that first integrated them were really well prepared. They were really smart, and that just showed the dedication of our teachers here in the area. One reason I also honor my father, because he allowed me to have the opportunity to have some place to stay, to have some land to build on, and that's important too. And I really appreciate the sacrifices that both of them made, so later generations could profit from it and have, a background and okay, I don't know what else to say as far as that is concerned. You can question me.
Well, I wanted to, talk a little bit about like what I found when I was when I decided to start looking into our ancestry, and it was interesting to find that Winter and Glenwood's father, Julius Caesar Barkley, I'm not making his name up, I promise. Julius Caesar Barkley, when he was born right before the Civil War, and his mother was still a slave at that time. So it's interesting to see that while their father was born as a slave, his oldest son went on to become a doctor. And from everything that I hear, like one of the reasons why he became a doctor was because his mother didn't get the medical attention she needed because she was black and poor, and was permanently disabled because of that. So I think that also shows that the determination of the people who flourished right after the Civil War, and it counters a lot of the some of the predispositions of some people and some of the thoughts that people had at the time about black people and African Americans. And so I was going to ask something else.
Well, I was going to bring up also, it's important also to see the younger people in the community to know the possibilities they have, and for them to connect with their ancestors and to show them how important it is that they carry on the legacy of their parents and appreciate their sacrifices.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people who live here in Crisfield know my aunt and uncle, Virginia Horsey, and Bessie Morgan, and Barry Barkley. And I know that Virginia and Barry were very, very involved in helping children in Chrisfield.
Bessie too.
And Bessie too. So a lot of, even though so many African Americans have moved away from Chrisfield, a lot of them come back and try to help out. And I know that you're involved in the It Takes a Village, trying to building a new facility for children for after school care and just a place for them to be so that they don't have to be on the streets and they can have a place to go to.
Yes, and I want to put a shout out to Miss Darlene Taylor, who's executive for the organization and all the board members, because they're trying to fulfill a need for the youth of this community, and that I think is really important. Ms. Barkley, have you anything else that you'd like to say?
No.
Yes.
Can I ask, could you tell us the name of the artist and how long he took to do this mural?
The name of the artist is Paul Boyd the Third. He lives in Baltimore. It took him a year to get this done in November. He took about a week.
About 10 days.
About 10 days continuously on that. I tried to get him to get down here, but he is so busy because he's a really talented artist. I want to shout out to him too, because every time I get a compliment on this, I think about it, and I'm glad that I waited for him to do it. He's a very talented African American muralist and artist.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? All right. I think we can wrap it up, unless anybody else has anything to say. I just want to say thank you for thinking about it, and thank you for hiring a African American artist. And I love you both.
Okay, thank you. We love you. and for all the people out there, all the friends out there, I appreciate you tuning in. And I hope you got a little bit of background on our motivation and why we did it. Thank you.
Thank you. We might zoom out on the mural again so people can see it.
You want to go ahead and...
Okay. Should I move these chairs away? Okay. Move all these things away. That being in the way, is that okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to call Thompson and see if he.
You dropped something.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, he went to Germany too. Oh, it's the one.
Oh, this right here?